What's
Hi everyone.
up? Not the laundromat
We
fairy.
are
That's so
live.
funny.
I cannot hear Madison though.
Oh my
Jordan, can you hear
gosh.
can you hear me?
I still can't. Is it just me? Oh, you want to know something, Lauren? I probably could have heard you this entire time. Yeah. I
Wait,
probably
say that
could have heard
again.
you. I probably definitely could have heard you the entire time. I had my laptop on mute.
I love it. That is amazing. And honestly, technology is so fun. It's so great. Definitely there's some positives and then there's always some challenges with it. So thank you everybody for joining. Do apologize for the technical difficulties. One day, Madison and I will get this right, and Jordan.
Honestly, Jordan will be it will be passive for Jordan because I swear. I
I love
swear.
it. He's always available when we need support. So this is perfect. Awesome.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I really appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all for being patient, Lauren. I'm so sorry that I brought you through this 10-minute ringer of my laptop being on mute the entire time. My God.
That's perfect. Well, I hope we're all set up okay. And in terms of the chat, I was just trying to find the chat. Here it is. That way, perfect. I know bunch of folks were joining and introducing themselves, which I sincerely appreciate. Our goal is to engage with you all, ask questions. That is what we're here for. But I do know we can just maybe do just like Madison a quick introduction on just like our
Yes.
backgrounds because we do have a little bit of a different background, which is really cool. We definitely want to help you along the way wherever you are in your laundromat journey. But Madison, if you want to kick us off.
Yes. I certainly will. Good evening. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Madison Anderson. I am in Charlotte, North Carolina. I am about to turn 25 too. On Saturday, my brain will be fully developed. So send all the tips to handling this lifestyle because, child. I come from the pickup and delivery side of the laundry industry without a laundromat. So after I graduated college, I started a laundry delivery company where I would pick up and deliver, wash, and fold almost all household laundry items and operated out of somebody else's laundromat, which was pretty easy for me because I didn't have to worry about water, machines breaking, all that great stuff. I used that to kind of be like my gateway drug into the laundromat industry. Come to find out that two totally different things. Didn't learn much about laundromats from operating the laundry delivery company, but I operated that company for almost a year and a half, had to shut it down because although I kept track of the money that was coming in and always put it back in the business, I put it in the wrong buckets of the business. So that led to me having to shut the company down. After 8 months of looking for jobs, trying to use my marketing degree, I had no luck. So I went back to square one and asked the owner of the laundromat that I was operating my company out of if he had any openings for a laundromat attendant. And he did. And now I've been working there since October and I've been treating it like a laundromat internship, the internship that I never had because I went to school during the pandemic. Woo-hoo. So you guys can follow my journey on Laundromat Resource, or you can follow me, a Millionaire Madison, on Instagram to come along the journey of getting to my first laundromat. Go ahead and kick it off, or continue kicking it off.
That was perfect. So you're a Gemini? That's you said your birthday is this Saturday?
Yes, I am a Gemini, and see. Y'all will see the chaos throughout this
I love
live.
it. I love it. My son is also a Gemini, my husband and my mom and my sister-in-law. So
Oh,
I
girl.
yeah, it's fun. And my son's birthday is also this weekend, so very cool.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. Yeah, but a little bit about me. So I'm located in central Pennsylvania. My background really I got my degree in marketing and then from there raised my kids and at I think it was almost 9 years ago, my dad passed away, and he was running for laundromats at the time. And when he passed away unexpectedly, my mom stepped in and started to run the laundromats day to day. And then my husband got involved in the laundromat business. And then eventually, fast forward to 2019, is when I actually purchased my first laundromat. And currently, I am running that laundromat in partnership with my husband. And then we also have 3 other laundromats that my mom and I partnered together on. And my husband is also really involved in the day to day. And then additionally, we decided to start a wash and fold pickup and delivery service that we're currently running locally, local to our home. But our laundromats vary from 15 minutes to an hour from where we're currently located. But my professional background is in marketing, so this is kind of my side hustle, if you want to say. I work primarily in the marketing field on a day-to-day basis in my 9 to 5, and then my husband is really this is his full-time job in running the laundromats and the laundry service. And then of course we have a ton of people helping us along the way. So that is a little bit about me. I kind of have my hands in a bunch of different pots. I do also work with Jordan as far as consulting is concerned, and as far as new laundromat owners, current laundromat owners that want to evolve what they're doing. We are also going to be working on some marketing packages coming up that we can partner together on, which I can talk a little bit about. But definitely here tonight, we want to feel free to ask questions. I saw that there was already questions in the chat, which is perfect. I saw other people are asking each other questions, which is amazing. That's what we really want to cultivate. We want to create a community here. That is our ultimate goal in doing this. And we really want to further women in this industry specifically, which is historically a very male dominated field. So
Yes, but let me see. Do we have any questions?
I see that Tara she just bought a laundromat in September, which is really exciting. Kind of a scary time. I remember when I first got mine, I was like, oh, this is real. And now several years in, I'm like, okay, it's definitely real. All these phone calls are super real. And super fun. Let's see. There's somebody who's starting, so just looking her journey, which can be a challenge. I've worked with some clients that are starting in that journey, and it's just, I know, Madison, you have your goals and your objectives, but it's definitely hard to get started and to actually find the right location. There might be 4, 5, 6 deals that you come across, and they might not be the right deal for you, and that's okay, because you need to you need to do what makes sense for you. So it could be really fast, or it could be a lengthier process, really just depending on your level of risk, where you're located too. Definitely, I feel like in my area, there's a limited pool of availability, but there is availability. But when you get into larger cities, there's definitely a lot more opportunity there.
Mm-hmm. Has anyone gone to the SBA loan route to finance their laundromat? Have you done that, Lauren? Or
So we did not. It's a different kind of process, just in terms of what the SBA requires. And that is kind of what I was talking about in terms of what is your level of risk? What are you willing to put up in terms of collateral, depending on how much cash you have and the situation. SBA definitely, you can definitely absolutely go that route. It's completely viable, but there are specific requirements from the SBA, and it can be a little bit of a challenge. So it's definitely possible. I would say, do networking with your local community banks. That is where we bank with all of our businesses, and they are definitely willing to work with you. Once they get to know you, you start to get to know the loan officers, the managers, things like that. It definitely helps in that overall process. Um, there are companies out there, like for example, if you are in like an economic disadvantaged area, perhaps there are companies out there that will work with you and will help you get a loan if you are building a positive establishment in a community that needs a laundromat, because there are communities that don't have that, and there are people that don't have cars and rely on public transportation or walking, things like that. So there's other avenues out there. You could look at like working with the current owner in terms of financing. Perhaps maybe they're willing to work with you. Some people that are retiring don't want to take as much of a big hit when it comes to be tax time. So it definitely, I would say, look at your options. I definitely think SBA is a valid option, though. Just
Mhm.
comes with some cons.
Yeah, that's a great answer. Okay, so let's please, guys, drop those questions in. We got laundromat acquisitions, pickup and delivery, also marketing. I got my marketing degree. Lauren got her marketing degree.
Yeah,
Please,
and
I know
even
this is.
operations, like definitely that's something that we've been working. It's been a challenge with four laundromats, and working operationally across all four of those laundromats, plus on top of that a laundry service. So I would say I've learned a lot about that over the years. Um, Not really wanting to, but I'm here. Um, Learning through experience, basically.
Mhm.
So, okay, there was a question there about a broker. And honestly, I have also not found that brokers are extremely helpful. Um, I mean, they're working with their clients, they're representing their clients, they're getting their commission, based on that. I feel like if they're representing you, perhaps maybe they're getting both. I don't know in that scenario. I'm not, please do not quote me on that. I'm not a real estate like investor in that regard. But they're just, I don't know. I feel like when we always consult with our lawyer, and every NDA that I've given the lawyer, maybe with exception of like two, our lawyer's like, absolutely not. Do not sign this NDA. This NDA is requiring all these things in the back end if you break out of your deal or something happens. So I feel like the broker it's always advantageous to them. So look at your contracts. There's stuff in there that'll say like, oh, if you back out of your deal, you owe them X percent, or you have to put X percent down to even get a letter of intent or something like that. So a lot of these brokers, you really need to read the fine print. If you're not working with a lawyer currently, you should be if you're in this process. The other thing is you could bring your own documentation to the table, so like your own NDA, your own LOI, like and your own contract, and you can say this is what I'm working off of. Your lawyer will definitely be able to help you with that. But I don't know. I'm not. Yes, you can. There's good ones out there, but I do think it takes some time and research. I would encourage you to like start networking in the industry in your locality. So like if you're like, hey, I'm in New Jersey, for example, with Christina, like you could be networking with current laundromat owners, your distributors, just to kind of see and understand like what's out there. Looking at like social media and seeing who's actually out there doing. I've listened to the podcast where people are literally driving, current laundromat owners, they've gotten like 4 or 5 stores from like driving around on a Saturday morning and just like looking at like spaces that are um current laundromats that aren't performing well, or um like zombie mat type situations where maybe something has like shut down and then they want to reopen. So I definitely think that there's stuff out there. I don't want to like be super negative around the broker space, but I'm just very cautious in that regard. Make sure you know what you're signing. As
Mhm.
far as like the letter route, I have seen people have success with that. I mean, I get calls all the time and I just kind of like laugh at people. But they definitely try. It's I feel like it's a good thing to maybe just put yourself out there if you're really serious about this. Um, give it. I mean, I don't think it would hurt necessarily. I don't think people would be offended.
Mhm. Very true. All right, let's go to the next question. What is your experience using Facebook ads for marketing, self-serve, and wash, dry, and fold, and pickup and delivery? Do you think it's effective? I do Google Ads, have optimized my Google Biz profile, and post in all local town Facebook groups. What's your experience? I never ran Facebook ads or any social media ads. I did Google and Yelp because they graciously gave those credits when you set up the profile. But what do you have any experience with Facebook and Instagram ads and whatnot?
Yeah, I do. And I actually find so I'm at any point in time I'm running like a kind of a mix of things. So and this is you're asking really good questions here because I do think there's a little bit of a different audience for each of those three subsets you're talking about. So you're talking about self-service, wash, dry, and fold, and then pickup and delivery. Those are three different people like that you should
Mhm.
think about. And then even within there, you have commercial and then you have residential. So when you're
Mhm.
thinking about your marketing mix, like you need to sit down and say, like, okay, what what do I want to do with all of these different target audiences? Like what's the message? How do we get them to convert? There's things that you should be thinking about and planning. I definitely think that social media is a part of that overall process. However, there's two things. So you need to be organically posting on social media. So that's just like content that maybe you can pre-plan that content, or it can be truly truly organic, right? But it's not like there's no ad dollars behind that. That's just content that's going on your page for sake of content and engagement. Um, it might link back to what you want people to do, which is like a contact form or sign up or whatever that may be. But the ads, you can definitely get really targeted with your different audiences on social media. I think a little bit more than what you can do on Google, I found, as far as like likes and interests. You can also do like audience targeting that's like a likeness, so like based on who is already engaging with your page and who is already like subscribing to your content. You can literally say, okay, find more people like this on social media and target this ad to them. I've done stuff where it's like focusing on commercial only, so and that's a little bit harder, right? Because the people who are running small businesses are people too, right? So they have similar interests and hobbies. But you can really, I feel like you can get really targeted on social media. I also think you can get a lot more bang for your buck on social media as far as like budgets are concerned. I think the budgets are a lot lower, and the reach is a lot greater. And it's not, I mean, think about it. You can't just like put one ad, one piece of content out, and like somebody's going to sign up. You have to kind of take them through that journey, and you may have different pieces of content in different channels in that journey. But I definitely think your audience is absolutely on social media. And I think they're willing to engage with something that will give them like a benefit to their life, which is laundry service or um, wash, dry, and fold, or having a place to go and do your laundry at one time that is like safe, secure, and clean.
Mhm.
I hope that helps. that was that was probably a lot. If you want to do more though, like that, those are things that we could work on. If you do want, to partner as far as consulting is concerned, like those are all things we could work on together. Um,
Mhm.
really mapping out. I do love the idea though of posting in the Facebook groups because I feel like that those posts can go viral. But what's even more beneficial in those Facebook groups is when you have your actual customers posting about you. So if there's a way where you could like incentivize people to like post a review on Google, or like, hey, I know you're really active in this yard sale group in XYZ town. Could you maybe just like post a review and next time I'll give you like $10 off your laundry or something. I don't know what the answer is, but I definitely think that more authentic content, the better. You know, people sometimes know what an ad is and they kind of discount that, but I also think if you're really clear about your benefits, um, they'll engage if they're interested, frankly.
Yeah, I will say devil's advocate here. Be careful when incentivizing for reviews. I didn't know this until I was watching another live Q&A where we were talking about they were talking about how to get more reviews from your customers. And what I did with my company is, hold on, let me see if I got it in here. So I had these thank you cards. I had these thank you cards that I put in every customer's bag facing up. Of course, I said thank you for using our services. And on the opposite side, I had, did we do an excellent job? Let it leave us a 5-star review on Yelp and Google and get $10 off your next order, $5 off per review. And once they scan this code, it would take them straight to it would take them to a link tree where they have the option to leave a review on Google, leave a review on Yelp, follow us on social media, and also order again. But what I found out from another operator is that incentivizing for reviews on Google, at least, is illegal, and they will get you for that. So just be
Oh,
careful. I
well, maybe
listen.
there has to be a way though, like to not, maybe we're
I
not
know.
incentivizing on Google, but like
Mhm.
there think obviously I'm not giving advice that's illegal. I don't want to do
Right?
that. But there has to be a way where maybe it's literally just like, hey, I know you really like the laundromat. You seem to be really happy here. Could you give me a review on your Facebook page, on the
Mhm.
Facebook group or something like that? So I hear you on that. But a lot of businesses do that. I'm not gonna name
I
names. I'm
know.
not a snitch, but like I have literally been asked probably like 3 times in the last week to leave a review, and I would get
Mhm.
XYZ like points
Mhm.
in
Yes,
my
listen.
account.
I say, hey, just do it sneakily. Do it sneakily. Don't post any of these. Don't post these on.
Yeah, right. Just have
Just
a
leave them in
conver
the customer's order.
honestly, the at the end of the day, we are customer service people, so we should be, and your attendants should be having conversations. And part of that is like, hey, you really like us, recommend us. There are people that leave the laundry service because they move and they're like, I love working with you and I really appreciate everything you guys are doing, but I just moved. And I'm like, great, can you just leave us a review so that way other people know about the service? So just little things like that. But it definitely, you can't be an absentee owner doing these things, right? Um, okay, there's some questions about grants. Yes, you can absolutely get grants. I don't like, I would encourage you to go out there because there are things that are like local. So like post COVID, there were some local grants in our county. There's also like state grants, and then there are things like environmental based grants that I've seen out there. I have not gone that route, but I am definitely interested when I go to upgrade my store. There are things that I think it's like the federal government, they can provide, it's like a percentage within the grant. And then, another percentage is the cash that you guys, like you would have, the deposit you'd have to bring. And then, another portion is financed. But go online, definitely look and see what grants are in your area. But I do think there's options when it comes to like energy efficiency and like water efficiency and things like that.
And being a woman too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And diversity. Yeah, I mean, I would just encourage you to put it out there and just see, and kind of do your research and see what would actually apply to your business.
Yeah, and if you don't have the time to look for grants, you can always outsource that to Fiverr or what is it? Something. It's like a where you can get virtual assistants from the Philippines. I can't remember what the website is called,
Mm,
but have them search.
yeah,
I will say grant sending in an application for a grant is a lot of work. So prepare yourself. Do it now while you do have the time, because when you start getting in motion with the laundromat operations and all that stuff, you're gonna be burnt out, child. So
yeah,
get it done
yeah.
quick.
Yeah, my husband and I literally were just having a conversation today about like, okay, what do we delegate and what don't we delegate? And like grant writing would be a thing I delegate. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I just
You,
don't
oh
have the
man,
time.
my mom tried to outsource grants to me when I had so much free time, just twiddling my thumbs trying to find a job. And there were so many things that I needed from her, like the
Hmm.
everything about her brand, everything about her mission, and all that stuff. So I was like,
Yeah,
I don't know this, so at least fill one out by yourself, so you get the feel and you get all
yeah,
your ducks in a row when it comes to those heartfelt questions, and then send it away.
right. So there's a question about geofencing. So I definitely target by zip code. As far as geofencing is concerned, I have not done that beyond like we do have one laundromat that is in like a highly populated like a truck stop area. So I have like geofenced the actual truck stops with ads, and I have a ton of drivers. So I'm thinking it works. You know, that's my coin store, so I can't really like there's no way to actually really follow that. It's a self-service model. So, but yes, I've tried it. I've tried a lot of things, and I feel like that's what that's how you get started, is by trying and testing and learning. So see what works for you. Once you kind of figure out who your target audience is and exactly like what you want to achieve.
Mhm. Lauren, do you suggest just driving around town or also going in and asking for the owner's information?
I mean, the owner's probably not going to be there. I'm going to be honest. And it can be a little awkward going up to like an attendant that is cleaning a store or like doing wash, dry, and fold. I would say just like try to find their phone number, their email, website, that kind of situation. Um, we're really busy people. Text.
Hmm.
I don't know. I just I think it's fine. Um, they might be there, but more often than not, if they're trying to like depart the laundromat industry, they're probably a passive owner or just
Yeah, I
not
would
at all.
say, yeah, I would say that your best bet when it does come to wanting to see an owner is when it comes to like zombie mats or borderline zombie mats. I would say go towards opening time, because if it's a zombie mat, I'm sure that they are the ones that are opening and closing. So that could be a good opportunity for you guys.
Yeah. But you will not see me there at 5 a.m. because I have auto
You
lock
open
doors.
at 5?
Well, so like we have one that's 24 hours. Two open at 5, and then we have one that opens, I think it's at 6. But it's an auto lock door situation.
Well, that's why I said zombie mat. You ain't got no zombie mat on you, girl.
No, no, we don't. And honestly, I don't know. I have thought about it. We've had opportunities in the past. I feel like it takes some energy to really invest in the situation, like in the laundromat and build the business. So I'm all for it if you have the time. I just don't, because again, I'm like working a 9 to 5 on top of this. Plus I have 2 children and I have hobbies and friends and a
Mm-hmm.
life, you know. So, but I feel like if you're in a different situation, like I've talked to so many people that are like, I'm single, or my kid, I'm an empty nester, or I'm done with corporate America and I just want to like be my own person and my own boss and just run this on my own. Like it's possible. It's definitely,
Mm-hmm.
definitely possible. But
For
that
sure.
is not my desired lifestyle at this juncture. I might be
Okay.
at some point. Who knows? I may be opening and closing stores, and it's not me right
Yeah,
now.
I will say to put a cherry on top of this is another thing that you guys can outsource. You can hire a, what do they call it, a scraper, to scrape the web for laundromats in your area, and they can scrape. They can scrape that internet so well that they can find the contact information to the person you're trying to get to.
Yeah.
So that's another thing.
It's out there. So Emily had a question about selling a laundromat, which I thought was really interesting. I would maybe just like even talk to your distributor if you're close with your distributor. Maybe just saying like, hey, I'm interested in selling. They don't have to get into the financials, right? Like that's not their goal. Like their goal is making connections because 9 times out of 10, once they get that new, the new owner and they sell the laundromat and make that transaction, they're probably going to be doing some upgrades, retooling, needing things for the laundromat. So they're going to go back to that distributor. So having that connection, I think, is really good. I mean, you can definitely go the broker route, just maybe find one that is not shisty, which I don't.
Period.
I found a couple. Like I don't want to be so negative because I have found a couple that we have worked out. Like we have worked with, but there have just been a few where my lawyer was like, "Don't sign that document."
Well, she was asking, how would you want people when it comes time for you to sell? How would you want people to get in contact with you? Would you prefer them to go to a distributor, or would you tell the distributor like, "Hey, I'm getting ready to sell"?
I would if I was selling, I'd probably hit my distributor up and just say, "Hey, do you know anybody that's selling right now or interested in buying?" Because I mean, in that situation, maybe you don't have to pay the broker, and that transaction can be between you two. It again, you're gonna have lawyers involved and all of that, so like there's gonna be documentation, but it's not gonna be like a handshake. But I don't know. I feel like if I'm selling, I'd rather just them contact me, like, but not the employees. The employee, that's the one scenario where it's like it can be a negative if you're walking in, there's a laundromat for sale and their employees are there. The employees may not know. And that is a negative because they can get really flighty and then just leave. And then they leave the owner high and dry. They leave you high and dry because now you have no employees. So definitely be discreet through that process. But if you're an owner that is very close with your employees, you can talk to them. You can have it in the contract, like must retain employees for X, or just don't work with a buyer that's not willing to retain your employees. So
yeah,
we were interested. I mean, any acquisition we had, we were very interested in retaining the employees. But it's always fun.
All right. Has anyone financed an entire project, machines plus property, with a distributor such as Electrolux?
Does Electrolux do their own financing? I don't know.
Well, I know from what I understand, I feel like they did that with Alex from 2U Laundry. I think they once after they wanted to transition their pickup and delivery service only into a laundromat, Electrolux helped them out with the entire thing. But I don't know.
It might not be Electrolux financing. I don't know. I thought it was Eastern Funding that Electrolux.
Oh, Jessica said that they do.
Oh, they have their own financing now. Oh, okay. I have not worked with Electrolux. I mean, I have gotten quotes from Electrolux, but I have not personally worked with them. I think this is possible. I do, in terms of working with not a distributor, but like literally the like Alliance or Dexter. I think that Alliance has a program that actually is like focused on this in terms of acquiring the property and then updating the machines. And I think they have special terms. So definitely talk to your distributors about what they can do for you and how they can help you. But I do think that there are options out there for sure.
Okay, when do you get a lawyer license to promote? What am I reading, child? Look, we're gonna try that again. Lord have mercy. Come on.
It's okay. I was reading it like 3 times too.
You get a lawyer licenses to operate the laundromat business?
Like when you get your EIN, I mean, that has to happen before you get the bank account. So you should be, I mean, your lawyer is going to help you through this entire process. They should be looking at the documentation, providing the NDA, the LOI, um, looking at your lease agreement, looking at any agreements that need to like say for example they already have financing, looking at those agreements and how they transfer. Like they should be involved at the beginning of the process, not like when you're making the signature to like buy the laundromat. um
Mhm.
and then you would get your EIN before you can open a bank account, before you like assume
Mm,
the laundromat.
yeah, you need a lawyer to get that LLC, child. Unless you want to do it yourself, don't recommend. But live your life.
Oh, I love the idea of the card.
Mhm.
Interesting. Okay. I mean, yeah, if you're serious about this, like that's great because nobody wants to. I mean, maybe some people would, but like I don't want to sell my laundromat to somebody who's not going to do right by it. So I love that idea.
Mm. Okay, this is a question that I've been wanting to answer for like a week. So
Yay.
Emily is a single mama and she is in this industry. Girl, I didn't know all this. You homeschool? Jesus Christ! Oh my gosh. So she had recently asked in the laundromat resource Facebook group. If you don't know, now you do. Hop in. Laundromat Resource Pro community. We lit. And she also asked in the lovely ladies of laundry forum how other women that may be single mamas or were former single mamas when hopping into this industry, how they juggle everything. I recommended her in a short, like a long story short version, to have SOPs for absolutely everything. And if you guys don't know what the acronym SOP stands for, it's a standard operating procedure. It's literally a step by step guide of how you do every single thing. So, like your morning routine. When you wake up, what do? Open them eyes, thank your higher power, whatever. Go to that mirror, get the crust out your eye, brush your teeth, put wash your face, put on deodorant, put on new clothes, stuff like that. So when I was a single mother in the industry, that's when I started my pickup and delivery service. Thankfully, I started at a time where my daughter was going into pre-K, so I didn't have to worry about where she was going to be. Um, After we did all of our morning things and after I dropped her off, I would turn on my routing system at around the same time every day. I was open. She went to pre-K. She went to class at like 7:30 or so. Turned on my routing app at 8. Would pick up, go based on where the route was taking me, like the optimization of the route was taking me. When I got to the laundromat, I had SOPs for getting stuff out of the car, loading it up to loading it into the laundromat. For example, when let's take one order for example. So every time I would select an order on my tablet for my POS system, which I used since, I would weigh it. After I weighed it and put it into the system, I would go to one of the back tables and inspect the laundry. So that's where I am emptying pockets, tying drawstrings, pre-treating stains, making sure articles of clothing are right side out, making sure everything is zipped up. And then I would maybe separate it if there was enough light colors, white colors, whatever to separate. And then I would throw it in the wash and repeat that whole cycle over and over again and stagger those stuff. So that's an example of an SOP. Um, when it I'm not about to bore y'all with my like mommy SOPs because child, we basically all got the same ones. It's chase the kid, feed the kid, shower the kid, put the kid to sleep. But that was just an example for you, Emily, of some of the SOPs that one of the SOPs that I had incorporated into the business to just make things a little bit easier. I will say that I also have ADHD, so I already don't come with structure. So it takes an extra amount of force for me to add structure. But the other half of me that's not ADHD knows, like, girl, we need this because we got to keep this other one tamed. So, Oh, girl, all three of my kids have ADHD. You got a whole circus on you,
Oh
child.
no. That's
The
so
structure is
fun.
gonna be y'all's friend.
ADHD
Yeah,
is it's sparkle. It's our little our glitter. Okay. Don't take our shine. We
girl, it's the
thrive in
glitter that's not
chaos.
in your eye. It's the glitter that's up your nose. It's not like cute
Exactly.
glitter. Like, ooh, it's horrible.
It definitely can be.
Girl.
Um so there was a question in here. Okay, wait. So it is through Eastern funding. Definitely get some competitive quotes, Jessica. That's my best advice in that regard, because then you can kind of see what the financing options are too, because right now is a really interesting time. I have seen the rates, like they're pretty much the same, but they are giving, like, different people are giving different incentives. So it could be like 3 months no payment, no interest, whatever. Or even longer. I think I've seen a little bit longer if you're like actually acquiring a new store. So definitely, like, don't be afraid to get some options. Um I feel like that is my best advice,
Mhm.
especially when it comes to a big purchase like retooling. I mean, it's a lot. It's kind of unnerving at times, but yeah, we're doing it.
Mhm.
Let's
Let's
see.
see. When valuing a mat in a big city where it's tough to build out a new one, would you take that into consideration when valuing an existing mat? Hmm. Mm-mm.
Yes. So Christina's question was like, is basically, I mean, that's why there are a lot of times where I'm talking to people that are like, I really want to get in the industry. And they're like, I'm thinking about building a laundromat. And I'm like, do you,
Mm-mm. Where's my red flag?
how much cash do you have? Because I feel like in this day and age, like, you have to be a serious investor with a nice chunk of cash to be doing that, because you're right.
Mhm.
Like, the cost, the permits, um, the time, because time is money. It's very risky. It also just depends on how, like I said, your level of risk here. So buying an existing laundromat definitely comes with benefits. You definitely want to hire people, like a contractor or something like that, to give you some advice on, like, how the existing plumbing is, like, is it the right type of, like, the size, is the water heater, is it working properly, is it been maintained, if it's tankless, like, there's things that those, like, how's the electric panels and things like that, like, those are the questions you're going to be asking in that regard. um so it's a little bit of a different scenario, a little bit of a different risk. You're inheriting problems, of course, inheriting situations with machines that maybe just, like, aren't aren't that great. Like, if you're buying a really old, like, 15-20-year-old machines, like, the value is not there. The value's in, like, the framework and the structure.
Mhm.
So,
Mm.
definitely, I would say I was working with somebody who was, in New York, and it was, I mean, it was like night and day from, like, my process as far as, like, buying a laundromat in central Pennsylvania. We definitely have some hoops to jump through as far as, like, buying and purchasing, but it is nowhere near the hoops and the amount of money in these big cities. Like, I was very shocked, as far as what they were charging. It was
Mm.
crazy. The taxes were in, it's very, I'm never, if I move to a big city, I will sell my laundromats and probably not take them with me. Like, I can't, like, all the, I know we talk to a lot of owners in California, and I just, like, I honestly can't understand how these municipalities and these states and the localities, like, it almost feels like they're working against small businesses. Um and it's just, it's getting harder and harder, I think, to operate in that regard. So, definitely do your due diligence, do your research.
Mhm.
um as far as valuation, like, it definitely could be considered, but don't get into a situation with, like, very old machines and, like, an overinflated value because of what's happening right now in the industry with all these like gurus out there and like investors that want to be like, oh yeah, come into the laundromat industry, it's great. And it's like, okay, do you know what it takes to actually run a laundromat? You know, how many conversations am I having a day with my husband about the laundromat? You know, we don't want to be talking all day about this laundromat, but how many packages have shown up at my door today because of this laundromat? It's been like 5 or 6. Like my whole living room is laundromat parts right now, and it's driving me nuts. Oh,
That's so funny.
sorry. It's one of the. It's like a really crazy time in my life because like with my kids and summer and all of that, and then like the laundromat, of course, is exploding. But there's a great question I think for you, Madison, in the chat.
Oh, let me read it. Come on, brain. Read it all the way through. Okay. Madison, how can I get information to start Wash and Fold? Do you have podcasts with that? Do you have a podcast with that information? Also, I have a potential launchment that I am looking into. That is why I asked about the lawyer. Awesome. So yeah, I do have a podcast episode on laundromat resource, and my episode is 122, where I talk about my entire journey, and I also show you guys a few things as well. So I have like my cost analysis on there, my scope of work questionnaire that I send to commercial clients, and a few other things as well. But you could listen. I don't know if y'all can tell, but I am a chitter chatterer. So if you want to email me, we can hop on the phone like as soon as I put this kid to bed. And I'll talk your head off about all this. You can ask me all the questions. As of right now, everything that I say for y'all is free. Lauren, on the other hand, that's where the money is at, where the money resides. since this is my first try and I failed at it the first time, I give y'all all my information for free. So if you just want to email me at what is my email? Madison.Anderson at freshinmobile. I'm gonna type it in the chat as well, and I'll let y'all have it because I think it's a really great opportunity, especially because there's so many. We're new, so it's not oversaturated just yet because it's getting there. But there's a lot of opportunity in operating a laundry delivery company while you're working towards getting a laundromat. I know there's this other lovely lady that also has a podcast episode on laundromat resource. Her company is called Leslie's Laundry. She's local. I actually just met her yesterday. She popped up at my laundromat like unannounced. It was real divine timing for real.
That's really cool.
Right. So she was telling me, and I've been like stalking her on Instagram and whatnot. She has just got a facility. She's been operating her pickup and delivery service only for 7 years and is like about to open up her own like hub zone where it's an existing laundromat, but it's not gonna be self-service. It's just gonna be the pickup and delivery warehouse. So like
That's
she's
really
a great
cool.
resource as well. If you email me, guys, I'll send you both my episode and her name. The owner's name is Dominique. Despite the name Leslie's Laundry, Leslie is her daughter. And a crazier thing is, I found out when we were chit chatting it up yesterday, but also it comes to find out we're literally neighbors. She lives across the street from me. Who would have thought?
It.
Literally,
I need to calm down and visit you guys.
Yes, we can have a
good. I will. At some point, I will go there for work, and then I will. It will be an easy drive to come visit. I love that story. That's incredible. And I am seeing like I think there was actually somebody else in the podcast that was kind of talking about like in these bigger cities with like the rise of all these like really nice apartment buildings and stuff like that with washers and dryers in them. The laundromats are not as necessary, so they're transitioning them into like a wash, dry, and fold facility, which is really cool.
Right. You don't have to be in like your customers aren't in the way of you. You're just living life, doing laundry without having like, oh, my machine is not working. Oh, the card reader won't take my card. Oh, can I get some laundry soap? You don't got to do all that unless you want to. There's room for everybody.
There's definitely benefits from operating within an existing laundromat. So it just depends on your situation. I know we're almost at time, but we were obviously very late because of technical things. Hopefully they can cut that out. But
It wasn't even technical. It was literally I was one button away from hearing you. My God.
it's okay. You probably muted a video that was like annoying, so it's all good. Okay, but I do know there's some questions in here. So yeah, the old machines, like the value, I mean, it's just not there. So definitely do your due diligence in the valuation. You know, don't be afraid to counteroffer. I know it's a little scary, but do your research, and if they don't like it, move on. It definitely, you know, it wasn't meant to be. So okay, so there's a question in there. Do you think a person can live off one laundromat ownership comfortably? I think that is your definition of comfortable. Like for me, the reason why I have like my full-time job plus the laundromats plus the laundry service. My husband does this full time, but then also he has his own little small business on the side. I mean, we want to diversify our income at this point in this economy. So that way, if something were to change in our situation financially, we are not like losing our house or something crazy. So I really honestly think it's dependent on your level of risk. Where are you located? What's the cost of living type situation? Do you own a home? Do you have assets? Like, there's a lot of questions that I have in there. I think sure it would be possible, but I don't like, I think it depends. It's like a big asterisk. Would I eventually want to live off the laundromat? I mean, maybe, but at that point, I would probably diversify into something else, like another industry or something. Like I don't know. Things can change. So yes, if you have some collateral, you have assets, like that's definitely of benefit. Can they pocket 30? Yeah, definitely $30,000 a year. I mean, you can definitely pay yourself that. Um, but it depends. Like, are you in a situation where, you know, you're retooling and you have a big lease loan situation that you need to pay off in 5 years? I think laundromat, you know, the distributor should be working with you in terms of your profitability. Okay, so 70 to 100, I think you would need to look at a larger space, like a pretty decent sized laundromat. Perhaps you're doing the wash and fold, pickup and delivery on top of the laundromat, but it's definitely possible. But I think starting out, it depends because you're going to have a loan. You're going to have, you know, if you need to make upgrades with equipment or infrastructure, it will impact your profitability. Are you hiring a manager? Like, are you managing day to day? Like, is that where your is that what you're getting paid for your salary? Or are you going to be more of a passive owner and hire a manager because that'll also impact your profitability? So I would say yes. Um, Also work with an accountant to figure out where you are with like your tax situation. Everybody's situation is very different. Um, I don't I never want to speak on that. So I would say like lawyer, accountant, contractor are like your three people that you have to have in your life as a laundromat owner. Like when my contractor decides he wants to retire, I'm crying. Like I'm crying.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Okay, drop your email. I am trying to drop my email in this YouTube chat, and it
Why
is not
won't it
letting me.
work? Do you want me to try? Here, I'm gonna try.
Yeah, give it a shot. Madison.anderson@freshinmobile.com. Oh yeah. Yes.
Did I spell it right?
Yes. Yes. Oh wait, you forgot the N in Anderson. You said Adderson.
I'm not saying nothing. It's one of those days. Is everything else spelled appropriately though?
Yep.
Okay.
There we go. That's the email. So hit me
Okay,
up so we
what?
can
There was a
get it.
question. Oh, contractors.
Mhm.
So yes, they can build out stores, right? But those are going to be like your HVAC, um, like the electrician. Like you probably want like a master plumber, master electrician. Some are both, some are separate. Um, and then you actually are going to probably need to hire people that like actually install the machines. There are situations where your contractor can install machines, but my contractor does more of like air conditioning, vents for dryers, flooring updates, bulkheads when I get new machines installed, plumbing updates, electrical boxes, those kinds of things. But when I go to get like a new piece of equipment, I hire the installers from the distributor that they come in and do the actual installation. But my contractor is there because, like I said, there might be a panel box update or a new, piece of plumbing that needs to come in or something like that. So, yes,
Mm.
good, always good to have.
Mhm. Mhm. Well, if we don't have any more questions, I have something that I want to talk about.
Please.
So while I was scrolling through Facebook today, I came across this post that had talked about a wash and fold order that had chapstick in the pocket, and of course, since the chapstick wasn't taken out of the pocket, it ruined the order. And this is the owner talking. She asked, she was asking how would other operators go about this. She said that she has offered to have the customer's clothes dry cleaned to get the mess off. But it looks like that the customer is asking her to replace the items that were really destroyed instead of like having them dry cleaned. And while I was scrolling through the comments, I saw a lot of operators that don't check the pockets before doing processing the orders. I'm the only one that's like kind of flabbergasted about this because it would make sense. I mean, I check my own pockets in my laundry. Do you?
Yeah.
Do you guys check pockets?
So we definitely check pockets. Um, However, I have said like in our agreements that if you do leave things that are in there, like we are not responsible. I think it depends. It depends on how you want to run your business, right? But like most of the times I'm willing to work with people. Like for example, I had somebody's clothes get messed up. I ended up just replacing them for her and I was just like, "Listen,
Mhm,
you tell me what the price is, we'll replace them." Um
mhm,
we don't really know what happened in that regard, like if it was something like a malfunction in the machine or if it was something in the pocket, but I feel like overall work with the customer, see what you can do to make it right. Yes, we do check our pockets, even though we say, please check pockets, please
mhm,
pre-treat stains because it's easier to get stains out when you pre-treat. So
mhm,
we definitely try our best. Um, we try to turn out socks the right way, that kind of situation, because they'll never get cleaned. Like there's certain things, take underwear out of the pants, like just
mhm,
basic level things. But I understand what people are saying because truly you're bringing the item to the laundry service. Um, we are washing the item. Like
mhm,
I feel like the price point is my challenge because like when you're going to a dry cleaner, there's a different level of service I think that you expect.
mhm.
We're a wash, dry, and fold operation, so I don't know. I'm a little bit like, yeah, you should check the pockets, duh. But also like we don't guarantee things that are like we don't guarantee that stains are going to come out of your item, but like a dry cleaner I think is a little bit more on the hook for more stain application and things like that. So I don't know, I'm a little bit torn because I've gotten things that are really just like, you're kidding, like this is just disrespectful, you know what I mean, like where you're made like over here, like, so I don't know. um I'm
Yeah.
I get both sides of it. But
Mhm,
also, I think it's weird that the customer is saying no to the dry cleaning because if they're willing to take the chance on the dry cleaning actually was probably going to get that out. Okay. So,
mhm,
and it's probably cheaper than replacing the item. So I feel like maybe the customer is being a little bit advantageous with the issue.
mhm.
But again, it's all situational. It's all about knowing your customers, talking to them, having a relationship. Like those are things like my husband and I, we do have that with our customers. We're really personable. And when
Hmm.
there's a problem, like we just talk to people about it and we try to resolve it, one on one.
Yeah.
Um, I like the idea of the upcharging. It's interesting.
I
Yeah,
mean, I think that should already be incorporated into the price.
it
After I
could.
figured all my pricing out, I mean, I had always done like a really thorough inspection process for all of my orders before and after I changed my prices. But because I know that that takes extra time when it comes to
Yeah,
the labor side. So
definitely.
I feel like that should already be incorporated. You should know
Definitely.
how much time it takes for your one employee to process like 30 pounds
Yeah,
from inspection to packaging. I'm
exactly.
team, I'm team turn the pockets inside out, put your hand
Yeah.
all the way through the hoodie pockets, tie the jog strings together, zip it up, pull the underwear out, make sure everything is right side out. Cause
Yeah.
that's like I do that for my laundry. Cause I know, first of all, I got a 5-year-old, y'all. She puts she's in the phase of putting rocks in her pocket.
Oh
Like I
no.
don't like I as much as it may damage the customer's clothes, it's also going to damage the machines. And who wants to do that? Who wants to? That's a more expensive problem than turning some
Mhm.
pockets inside out.
And we found money in pockets too, which could go like literally
Okay.
down the drain once it goes into the washer. So, I feel like, okay, so I'm saying yes, check your pockets, but also that should also be in the terms and conditions. Like we're running a
For
business
sure.
here. So like if you're not checking pockets, which I have seen in terms and conditions for other operators, so like that person is validating like, hey, yes, I read this.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But just do the right thing at the end of the day. Like replace the people's clothes or I don't know.
All right.
Um,
First of all, check the pockets, and then if there is an issue, store credit, refund, replace. Do what you need to do. That is right. Don't go back and forth. We ain't got time for that. There's money to be made.
yeah. So there's two other questions I just want to answer before we get off. Is it better to bring your own contractor? I would say yes. Like it's always good to have another person that's like actually on your side. Um, the distributor is probably fine, but I've gotten in situations where I've been told one thing, but I really needed another thing. And I am not a plumber, HVAC person whatsoever. So I feel like if you're trying to operate, an entity, try to find somebody that is just going to work with you, um, and bring your best interest to the table. And then there was one last question. How do we get a distributor? Oh, you can go online and like go to like Dexter or Alliance and find out who your local distributor is, and then you can call them and like ask for the sales department and then just say, "Hey, I am in the process of, buying a laundromat. I'd love to connect with distributors. I'm interviewing them. I'd love to talk to you." And then usually they just set up a meeting. You meet wherever you are, you guys talk about your situation, but they're willing to like definitely work with you. They want that relationship because it is a long term, relationship. If you're in the laundromat industry for 25 years, you're going to retool twice. So they want your business. And then what do we charge for wash, dry, and fold? So it just depends on our location. We range from $1.79 to $2.50 a pound, just depending
Dang.
at. Um, yeah, I would love to increase. That's for like a next
Mhm.
day, same day situation.
Got you.
But I think it's getting more like we're going to have a price increase here soon, just given where we're at economically. I'd love to give my employees a raise every year. So
Mhm.
so we're definitely looking at what our pricing is across the board.
Yeah, when I first started off, I charged $1.20 per pound. That was me like going in raw, not doing any market research. I did look at my competitors and I was like, let me just be the lowest price because one, I'm not an expert, a laundry expert yet. Also, I'm a beginner in this and I don't really know what I'm doing. I also didn't know how much it cost me to do a pound of laundry, but after everything started going to uh, you know, after things started hitting the fan, that's when I got it together. I had a conversation with Waleed Cope, which he graciously did for free. Ooh, forever grateful for that because now he charges. He reiterated to me that everyone else was reiterating was to figure out how much it cost me to do a pound of laundry. So I did, and then I put whatever profit margin I felt was all right to meet the cost of my bills, and never got the opportunity to pay myself. But after I changed my prices, I went up to $1.90 per pound. Initially I had a $3 uh, delivery fee, but after I raised or increased my price, I took the delivery fee off and just incorporated that into the $1.90 per pound price. So yeah, right now the laundromat that I work at, child, this is so ghetto. He charges $1 per pound.
A
Ghetto, child.
dollar?
$1.
That's absurd. See, that's the like the last thing I'll say on this stream is that I get upset when I see that because it undercuts the industry holistically and like the free dry. I get so angry when I drive by a laundromat and I see the free dry because the price, I mean, they're literally doing it for free. The dollar, I mean,
Mhm.
there's no way that they're making money there unless they're bringing in huge volumes. Um, Commercial, sure, that's a different game, but like a dollar a pound, there's no way that they're successfully operating in that with that price point.
No, this owner is not making any money. It's I have a hunch that it's just like a tax type of situation. His wife is a doctor, so and I think the business is under her name, so she gets to keep that tax money or whatever. But so since you
Yeah,
mentioned commercial clients, we do have one contract with a cleaning company, and we wash their towels and their mop heads. The towels we charge 75 cents per pound, and the mop heads we charge 85 cents each. Or yeah, each. It's
that's
so
crazy.
ghetto. It
We don't do
is.
that.
It
We just
is.
charge like one price. Unless you're
Right.
recurring or unless you want a special thing like next day or
Mhm.
same day or something. That is crazy.
It is because he has a 15-pound minimum, so the orders normally will at least come out to $16.20 when you include tax. Um, I get paid $11 an hour, which is first of all criminal, but whatever. But that like takes up everything. The washer, the for a minimum load, a washer is $3, and then the dry is like $1.20. It's like you're not making any money, dude. And clearly, he's like almost 2 feet out the door. He's got a pinky toe still in the business. So he's
So
ready. I guess he's ready to.
when he's ready to sell,
I'm gonna be right
that's when
there.
that's what
I'm
I'm
gonna
saying.
be right
You
there.
got your layup there because it's just like that's you're absolutely right. There's no way that they're invested in this business, which is the opposite of where I'm at. So yeah.
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
hope everybody in this chat is feeling the same way and they're not just gonna yeah. $15 minimum wage. Yeah. That's where the I mean, that's where we're going. So
Mhm.
our businesses should be going in that direction. But it is historically
Mhm.
not. So that is what we're combating right now.
Yeah, but anywho, I'm gonna get off my soapbox. Mm,
Hey, you have a birthday to go celebrate.
I
Your birthday
do. Y'all want to
weekend.
know what I'm doing for my birthday? So since y'all asked and y'all are dying to know what I'm doing for my 25th birthday, I am really doing something that I've been talking about for a while. I'm gonna go do some cow therapy, y'all. I'm gonna go to a ranch and I'm gonna hang out with cows for 2 hours.
That
Can't believe
sounds
it.
very fun. Like honestly, that sounds like a lot of fun. What are you doing? Are you just
I'm
like
really
chilling
just
or
I'm
taking
just
care of
chilling,
cows?
man. I'm
Okay,
just
good.
chilling. I'm gonna take a tour of the farm, brush a
Very cool.
cow, lay beside it while it's chewing
Oh, I
cud,
love that.
feed it,
That
try to
sounds so
chase a
peaceful.
chicken, right? I might come back home with a chicken. Listen, yeah, but for me, I really wanted to do this because I see my old wrinkly self with however many grandkids God will bless me with in a ranch, like a family compound type of situation where we have farm animals, we got our garden, Like I already got my farm animals named. I got Clara the cow, the miniature cow. We have Wilbur the pig. We um we have Giuseppe, my barn cat. Gotta have a good barn cat. And we'll have a donkey. I don't know what I'm gonna name the donkey yet, but give me some ideas, y'all, because
I love it. You really
so
have
I'm
this
super
planned out.
excited.
I most definitely have none of that plan. I'm gonna be honest, I am not that big of a planner, so I will be happy with wherever I am. But I love that. That's incredible. And nature is incredible. So
Yes, yeah. I'm gonna be walking around there with my shoes off. I'm gonna be so
I love
comfy.
that.
Everything is just like this year has been overstimulating. It's
You need
been
to
a
touch
hot
some
mess.
grass. You
I
need to touch
do. I need to ground. I need to
yeah.
ground. But
Hmm.
okay, back off my
I
soapbox.
love it.
Woo.
Well, enjoy. Think of
Thank
us while
you.
you're laying next to this cow.
Yeah, listen, y'all go follow me on Instagram right now at millionaire.madison so y'all can see all the pics. And who knows, I might come home with a pig in my trunk. I'll
I
keep
mean,
y'all
there are
updated.
pigs that are housebroken, so
Right?
it's
Right?
possible.
Yeah.
I'll support your dream from afar.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, everybody. I appreciate everybody's time. Feel free to reach out. We'll do more of these. We have to just get them on the schedule with like the summer and all of that good stuff. But thank you for your time and attention and all the great questions.
Yes, I really appreciate y'all. We had a good time.
Definitely, definitely. Thanks. Bye, Madison.
Good night.